The monsoon rain has finally hit. It's been a couple weeks, so we haven't really been watering the garden. We have to put delays on, but this is how it goes. This is the progress. Here are chives slash green onions as they get bigger. This is all the okra. We've got a little bit of lettuce coming now right here. We have our mint. That's huge now. More okra. And look at this cilantro. I probably need to cut back. I think it's so pretty though with the white little flowers. And then we have all of these are bell peppers and jalapenos. Right, so this whole row is coming in good. If you look close, we've got a bunch of little bell peppers and flowers starting to come in. There's our bell peppers. All of our carrots, they're starting to get really big. Last year we had some that were like that tall, and these middle ones are all seeded from the flowering that we had last year. So these are our own that we grew. And then it took me 3 different plants to get these cucumbers finally going, but they're going pretty good. And hopefully in the next couple weeks we'll have a good bunch of cucumbers. And then I have these trellises, and the green beans are starting to roll up right here. You can see they're starting to wrap up my trellises. Really cool. And then this is all my squash. This is zucchini. And we have them starting to bud out. So in the next couple weeks, we'll be able to harvest. See all these little buds starting to come. And yellow squash, we have one starting right down here. That's starting to come, and pretty soon we'll get to harvest in a couple weeks. All right, now we're in the orchard, and our peaches are coming along. Let's hope the bugs don't get them. Some of them have already got bugs, but our trees were really healthy, and we think they got some root rot. And so we've done some work in here to hopefully help them come back and continue to grow. All right, this is our apricot tree. So we have a fruit here. There's a couple little ones throughout the trees. The apricot trees are really healthy and doing really, really well. We did pick a peach because half of it's eaten, so we'll
just eat the other half.
The tomato plants, I don't know if I showed them before, but these just came up on their own in a pot where we have a little tiny right here.
And they're from
a little
Grandpa.
tiny apple tree we transplanted from our grandpa's yard, and so on this one too. And these huge tomato plants have come up in them. So there you go. We got big old tomato plants. We'll see if how much produces. Right, here's the pecan orchard. Every tree so far that he's planted, we've planted because I helped cage, has survived. We were nervous because of deer. So we added cages around them, and we haven't seemed to have a problem yet. So we right now, we planted 2 more this week, 3 more this week. So right now they're all survived, and maybe they're getting overwatered from the monsoons, but they're looking healthy. Right, here's our corn. Some of this is the grass that we got brought over from the birds. But some of that is not just corn. I'll show you them in a little bit, the better corn rows. But down here, we have some squash plants growing really good. And I planted squash all over, but I think the quail came in and got a lot of it. But there are, so that's a little, right there is a little squash plant too. Here's another squash plant. There's another one right here. Here's that tall grass, but then as you look, the corn is growing. I'm gonna walk through and shake the seeds to get the corn to grow. There's, walk through the mud and show you. Here we have actual corn coming up, and so there's pieces like that all over in this cornfield that's coming. It's really cool and exciting that we'll get to shuck some of our own homegrown corn. We have all these tomatoes plants. That one was an original, started getting tomatoes and it died. I don't know if it overwatered because it's not draining good or what. But if you look, I planted more cucumbers all up here. So we have some bigger cucumber plants coming, tomatoes, cucumbers, all the way up. I'm walking and just keep seeing little tiny squash plants that popped up. I'll continue and show you some more. This isn't squash, this is all just cucumber that I planted. There's more squash. There's more squash if you can see right here. As you come in that grass, there's a one right there, another one right here in the grass. So we're gonna have plenty of squash if anyone wants squash. Our goats love squash though, so that's why we continue to plant it in the overflow. Look up this row that I planted cucumbers. It's all, you can see them on either other side. They have really got good water and have come up all the way to the end. So that's a huge mesquite tree we cut back, and it's already grown that much with the monsoons. But there is some corn coming in here in little spots that we originally planted, but it's just like corn feed. We wanted to see if we could plant some dry corn feed and if it would work. So one last view of our cornfield. This tall stuff is our sorghum seed or sorghum grass that we planted for our goats. And then we'll do this, because to fertilize you're supposed to shake, so we'll shake some of the seeds down and hit them together and walk through the cornfield right now and hit them all together. Close, I've got the prettiest little ladybug right here on my corn. This okra we planted originally didn't work, and then I don't know, it's probably the monsoons. If you see real close here, you can see them, and it's like, here's another one, and so the whole row you can see, that's a big one that started from our first plant, and we replanted, and here, I mean, the whole row has a lot of them going through it. So hopefully these will grow and not be too late. And we'll have okra. There's another bigger one coming through on this curve. Hopefully, I mean, it looks like we have quite a bit. You can tell it's rained a ton because the water, when we watered originally, would just soak straight in. And now it's puddling up, and we haven't had that happen. So here's more. I mean, this little jungle is got, like, this is an okra plant. So we have weeds, but then we have all of a sudden this big old plant. These are all okra. And it goes this whole, there's more. It's really cool. It's going to be this on the outskirts. So hopefully we have a good lot of okra. Then lastly is all of this grass, the sorghum grass. It's so tall. We finally let the goats in one of them, and I'll show you in a little bit how they eat it. But it's what we've been feeding them lately. We haven't been feeding them hay. We just let them out every day to eat this big old tall grass. So this is the field they're allowed in right now, and you can see they've ate a bunch of it, but it's still, just from the rain, is still coming up and coming through. And then they haven't been eating this field as much because they ate all the tall of this field. It's really cool. And then we'll open up our hog panels and allow them to eat this, and then we'll just switch them back and forth from pastures until they dry out from the freeze, and then we have to wait about a couple weeks, because the nitrogen in the grass will kill them as it dies. So we'll have to wait and then feed them hay for probably a month or so, and then we'll feed them the stalks. So that's how the monsoons have been providing the water, and this is how we've been feeding our goats. This is Rico and Chico, and this is He-Man. And the other goats right now are in their shelter. But one of these goats, I think it's this one right there, can jump the fences. He'll run and jump over the fences. So it's basically like we let him out. Hi, He-Man. This is the top dog. If you're new to him, he'll headbutt you. So he likes me now because he knows I'm in charge. Right, that's our farm today. That's our update.